CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Monica Ricks in New York. The same deadly system that's caused chaos this week in the South is now headed northeast. WBZ Radio's James Rojas is in Boston.
The emergency declaration comes as we're looking at some extreme cold weather with wind chills below zero starting Friday and cold air lasting through Sunday.
Staying inside, for sure, staying indoors. I feel like I'm going to stay inside this weekend instead of doing any outdoor sports. Because it's too cold for that too.
Any errands we're running, it's in a very small radius of home. James Rojas for CBS News, Boston.
In Washington, President Biden's meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus. They're discussing police reform in the wake of Tyree Nichols' death in Memphis.
From my perspective is, how can we make some progress on police reform of consequence and violence in our communities?
Congressional talks fell apart after George Floyd's death. A councilwoman was shot and killed outside of her home in New Jersey last night. WCBS TV's Christine Sloan is there.
There was 2 sets of 4 shots, like pop, 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 pop. And they saw somebody running into the woods.
Neighbors in this tight-knit community heard the gunshots. Investigators say 30-year-old Republican Sayreville councilwoman Eunice Jumfor was shot and killed in her car Wednesday night outside her home.
Where the bullet casings were, that was up the street. Where the car ended up was about a good 50 feet down, and it crashed into the parked cars.
Police are still searching for a shooter. We're hearing the terrifying 911 calls out of Monterey Park, California, where 11 people were murdered last month.
Somebody is looking at guns for these people inside the studio. So we just came out.
This happened on the Chinese New Year. The 72-year-old gunman later killed himself. The Pentagon's now tracking a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon that's been spotted over U.S. airspace.
The White House says the president asked the top brass for options and received a strong recommendation from Pentagon officials that the balloon not be shot down because of the risks that might be posed to those on the ground. We're told it's the sense of U.S. officials that the balloon has limited value from an intelligence collection perspective, and that the U.S. is now gaining insight as it tracks the balloon.
CBS's Stephen Portnoy. The Republican-led House has removed Minnesota Democrat Ilhan Omar from its Foreign Affairs Committee, citing anti-Israel comments. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
She said the American military was equal to Hamas and Taliban. From a member of the Foreign Affairs. She said Americans only like Israel because it's all about the Benjamin.
Democrats say the GOP is targeting Omar over her race. And health officials want people to stop using over-the-counter drops called EsriCare Artificial Tears. It's linked to an outbreak of infections in at least 55 people in 12 states and 1 death. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cab News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.